This is episode 3 of me telling my business because I feel like it'll help somebody. So, for the first year and maybe like year and a half of my relationship, my current relationship, we broke up every week. Every week for the first year, and then maybe once a month for the next 6 months after that. And this is when I discovered that I had relationship anxiety. And also, this is when I went through like another layer of like dark night of the soul, spiritual journey, like twin flame journey. And this is when I first started learning about attachment styles, and I was in like the self-consciousness stage, so I was always like looking for problems, right? So I was labeling myself. I was like, I'm anxious and you're avoidant, talking to my partner. And this is when I started going through that whole journey, and then it was like the twin flame journey, and then that's when I was led to detachment. And this is why I believe that I don't believe in secure attachment. I believe that detachment is the way, and I'll explain what detachment means to me a little bit later in the video. So me and my partner first met working at a country club, and he like approached me and he wanted to go on a date with me. But me, I was like, a few months prior, I was just like, I was dating, but then I was like, okay, I'm done dating. Like, it just got too much, like having to deal with a bunch of people and I don't know, just like juggle all of these like relationships and energies. I was just like, I'm done. Like, God gonna have to bring me my husband, is essentially where I was. So I was just like following like my heart, right? Like following my desire. And I was like, I'm gonna start working at the country club. So then he met me, he pursued me, he asked me out, and I was just like, no, I'm not dating right now. And he was like, what? Mind you, this is around the time that Valentine's Day was happening, and I was so excited to be doing Valentine's Day with my girls. And so I'm telling him about it, and so he's thinking from his male point of view that I'm telling him like, oh yeah, I'm single. And so he's thinking he could ask me out, and I'm like, no, I'm just really excited about my Valentine's Day, and I'm just a talkative person sometimes. So yeah, he talks about this all the time. Like, yeah, you told me no and that you weren't dating. I'm like, yeah, I really wasn't. So we end up like talking a little bit later after that, and I knew like this is my person. But I had such like anxiety from relationships, which I talked about before. Like, just I just had a lot of traumatic experiences in relationships up until this point. I was 22, 23. I had just turned 23 at this point. And so I was just like, I'm done. I'm done trying to pursue love. And I was just like, I'm just going to work on myself and be open to whatever comes. And so we started dating, and it just all went downhill from there. I felt like I was doing all the inner work, but once you actually get into a relationship, that's when all the triggers come up, right? And that's why I say, if you break in relationship, you heal in relationship. So that's when everything started coming up. I was acting a plum fool, and he was just being so patient through all of it. So yeah, we would like be together, then we would break up, then we'd be together, then we would break up. Like, this went on for months. And then he asked me to be his girlfriend like a couple months after we started dating. But we were already coming out of a breakup. So I'm like, are you okay? Like, why did this man was in love with me? And I'm like, why are you trying to ask me to be your girlfriend when we just broke up? Like, but he like took me out to a nice restaurant. I got all dressed up, dolled up, and then he asked me to be his girlfriend. So yeah, that happened, and then that just brought up a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, so I was looking it up, and I was like, what is going on with me? And this is when I came across this spiritual teacher who was talking about twin flames. And he said, this is gonna sound crazy, but he said everything that we were going through, like, I felt like he didn't even have to talk to me. Like, my partner didn't even have to speak to me, but I like could hear his thoughts. We still have this to this day, like crazy telepathy. And I'm just like, I don't know. He felt so familiar when I met him. He felt like, I don't know, like I've known you in a past, another life, or you're my soul family, like we're meant to be together. So that's how I felt. And so when I looked up the spiritual teacher, and they were talking about twin flames, and like everyone in the comments was like asking, like, why is this person doing this? Why are we separated right now? And I was sitting there thinking the same thing, but he kept telling us, you are your twin flame. You are your twin flame. And I could not get that into my head. But now I know, like after practicing detachment and like doing all the like inner work and the deeper work and the self-work stuff, I'm like, oh, I am my twin flame. Like, I was constantly externalizing. And that's what we always do. Like, humans, we just feel like our love is outside of ourselves, our success, our riches, our abundance, our peace. Like, happiness is something that you have to attain outside of yourself. And I think through this journey, that's what I learned. Like, happiness is not from without. And I feel like I knew that when I was doing my inner work, but it's like, it's easy, especially if you're used to unhealthy relationships and like codependency, or just like, just toxicity in general. It's easy to get into a relationship and then cling on to each other And that's essentially what like anxious and avoidant attachments are, right? It's like the anxious person's like chasing the person, and then the avoidant's like running because they're afraid of connection. But it's like we're both afraid of true connection, or afraid of loss, afraid of abandonment. So one person, it's like two sides of the same coin. Like one person is running away from deep connection, and one person is trying to cling on to it because they feel like they're gonna lose it. So you're both like having this like deep-seated like unworthiness and self-worth stuff and like fear of abandonment, right? And so it was like two sides of the same coin. And so me and him, I would be like, take this test, and he'd take the test, but he'd be like, I don't feel like I'm avoidant. He's like, I feel like I fit into all the boxes. Like me and him have been doing like deep healing work since the beginning of us being together. So he would take the test, and I'd be like, no, you're avoidant and I'm anxious and we're in this cycle. And he'd just be like, well, I feel like I kind of fit into all of these. Like, he just wasn't super into labeling himself. And that's where I was. I'm like trying to fit everything into square little boxes and label things and label people and label myself. And so we ended up like doing this work together. He even went to therapy with me at the beginning, and we're actually in therapy now, which I'm really excited about, to like work on our communication. And I feel like it's already improving our relationship. Even he's like, it's really good to have like a mediator in between us. So there's always a time and place for therapy, but it really has to do with your mindset. Like I said in the last video, it's not about, therapy's bad or therapy's wrong or whatever, or self-development is wrong. It's like, how are you approaching it? Are you approaching it from a victimized place? Are you approaching it from an empowered place? So we're going into it hoping to learn amazing skills. So I'm excited about that. But he went to therapy with me in the beginning, and it's so hard when you have relationship anxiety, because a lot of therapists or friends or people will reflect back to you your own anxiety. So if I felt like I needed to leave this person, even though I'm like, I know this is my person, like other people will be like, okay, well, like, do you deserve that? Or I don't know, like, they will reflect back your own anxieties, and it will make you want to leave even more. But then you're like, it's giving me anxiety because I don't want to leave. Like, I just want someone, I don't know, I guess I was looking for safety, but other people, it's just kind of like, oh, well, just leave them. Find a new person. But it's like, you always take yourself with you in all of your relationships. Like wherever you go, you will be with you. And it's like, as much as we try to run from ourselves and chase other things outside of ourselves, you will always be stuck with you. So we worked on ourselves. I worked on myself. He worked on himself. We would be broken up for like 3 months, come back together, broken up for a month, come back together. It was just so tumultuous. And eventually I just got tired of always being on this like roller coaster of like up and down. And then I saw the patterns in my life where it was like, I had tumultuous relationships with people in my family. I'd cut them off and then come back, and then cut them off and come back, or they cut me off and block me and then come back. And I was so tired of that, like that roller coaster, like of my nervous system and of my emotions, just always going up and down and up and down. And then like, I don't know, breaking apart and like tearing apart of my relationships, and then trying to mend it when there's so much like heartbreak in that. And I'm just like, this is not healthy. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. So I was like, I really want to work on myself in a meaningful way. And that's when I started like discovering like Christianity, and that's like a whole nother journey. Like it was a part of the same journey, like spiritual journey, but that's like a whole different like section of my journey I'll have to talk about separately. But like, it was after I got baptized and I like accepted and I guess more surrendered. And then instead of attaching onto a person or ideology or something, I attached to source. And that is what detachment means to me. Like, instead of attaching onto a man, money, a business, external validation, like whatever addiction you have, like to social media, whatever it is, instead of attaching onto something externally outside of you, it's like going within, the superconscious, the Holy Spirit within, and connecting to yourself in like a really deep way. And like I'm going to talk about this in the Conscious Creator, but like doing your self-love languages, everything I wanted for my partner, I was like, I'm going to do it for myself. So if I wanted him to buy me flowers, then I was like, I'm going to buy myself flowers. And if I wanted more love and attention and emotional availability from him, I was like, I'm going to do that for myself. I'm going to give myself love and attention and affection and hug myself and kiss myself and pour into myself. And so that's when he kept saying like, oh, you are your twin flame. Like, this journey is not about someone else. It's about you. That's when it really started to hit me like, this is not about him. Like, it's about me. And I think that's what happens a lot when we're and this is why I don't really talk too much about relationships, because the people that it brings in is people who are like they're chasing love, they're praying and begging for a husband, they're like chasing something outside of themselves. And I want the people who come to me who are ready to be like conscious and aware. I want them to know that it's an inner journey. Like, this is you versus you. It's not like, once you do all the, what does it say? The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things shall be added onto you, or something like that. It's like, once you go within, once you search within, once you talk to God, which is within, it's not without, it's not anything outside of yourself. This is an inner journey. Once you do that and you seek that, then all the things will be added to you. Like the man, the money, the businesses, the friends, like all of these things will be added onto you. And I think that's what helped me learn how to surrender, how to practice detachment in a real, like, tangible way, to where it's like, if I had no money, I'd still be okay. If I had no partner, I'd still be okay. If I had no friends, I'd still be okay. If I had no family, I'd still be okay. Because it's like, it's me and my creator. Like, we're locked in. It's me and source. It's me and the Holy Spirit within. It's me and the superconscious and the highest form of myself and the infinite intelligence. Like, it's me and source. So that is the biggest journey that I learned. And I think we all go on different journeys. Like, a lot of people I've seen, they have this journey with business. Like, they're chasing with business. And I feel like a lot of times people have to, that's why I think a lot of rich people just be like, okay, just start the business. Like, do the thing, make the $1 million. Because once you get there, you'll realize it means nothing. Like, once you keep trying to attain these external things, you're going to get it and realize it doesn't change anything. Like, marriage won't make you happy. Being in a relationship won't make you happy. Having kids won't make you happy and heal you. Like, you have to heal you. Having a business in millions of dollars and be financially free, like, that's not going to heal you. It's not going to heal your money wounds. It's not going to heal your relational wounds. Like, none of these things will actually heal you, which is why you have to practice detachment. And it's like, you just can't be attached to external things. I don't know how else to, like, describe it, but it's like, the only thing you should be attached to, and this is why I don't believe in secure attachment to, like, a person, which might sound weird, but, like, I believe this for, like, years now, is because you have to attach to yourself. Like, and that's what, like, even if people are like, I want you to need me, I want you to die, I want you to break down if you lose me. It's like, if that happens, and I've seen this happen in relationships, like, if you are so attached to this person, they can make you lose yourself, because they can't make you happy. They can't heal you. They can't bring you closer to God. Like, you know, even if you have, like, a religious leader or a spiritual leader, like, and this is what is so interesting reading the Bible, because it's like, humans are so predisposed to idolize things, to pedestalize things. Like even like a coach or a mentor, you can go, this person has more money than me, or a better relationship, or whatever. It's like, once you bring them down to your level, you can actually be like eye to eye with them, and it will activate you, as opposed to it feeling like they have something that I don't have. You can be activated by calibrating to their level. Like, I don't know, I feel like coaching is like calibration. Like, information, I'm just giving you information. Advice can be information, but coaching is calibration. Like, you can calibrate to the level of this person, and it's just like, it's a remembrance. Like, this journey is literally a remembering of who you are. It's not like someone has more power than you, or like, oh, I have imposter syndrome, but they don't. Like, it's like, no. And a lot of times also, it's like, once you come into a coaching container with someone, you'll realize all of these, like, problems that everyone else has literally just dissolve. Like, they just dissipate. I remember I used to always ask my coaches, like, questions, and just ask them over and over and over. And they're just like, once you come into the container, all of these questions will just, like, dissolve. Like, you're like, oh, like, you actually elevate your consciousness, and all the problems that were at this level literally just, like, go away. You know, like, once you calibrate to that level, like, you have more. Of course, we're always going to have new problems, new things to solve, new, you know, it's all a journey. Like, you're never going to be, like, at the top and, like, okay, I won. It's always, like, up-level problems, new things to conquer, new things to learn, new skill sets to adopt, new mindsets to expand into. Like, you're always growing. But a lot of the things, you can always come back to the foundational things that you learn, and then keep applying it. Like, okay, am I getting too attached to this thing? Okay, let me unplug, let me detach, let me go back within. Am I idolizing and pedestalizing this thing? Okay, let me go back in. Okay, you know, marriage isn't the end all be all. Having a successful business isn't the end all be all. And also listening to that inner parent. I remember I had this, like, toxic inner parent that was always trying to it was like the voice of anxiety of like, okay, you need to be successful. You need to, because I had people around me who were constantly searching for external validation in everyone else. And so that's the voice that's in the back of my head. Like, you have to be successful. You have to da-da-da. And I'm like, that's not my voice. So I'm going to get rid of you, Like, you can transmute things. You can release things. You can do cord cuttings. You can do energetic, cuttings, and allow those things to dissolve out of your life. And then you actually get to a place of real deep peace. You don't have to continuously chase. And that's why it's this journey is not about anybody else. It's not about the money. It's not about the man. It's not about anything like that. And a lot of the time, God will give you a desire to have something, like a desire to be married, or a desire to have this amazing business, or a desire to have a banging body. And he gives you the desire to have something. And then, of course, you're going to do the action. So it's be, do, have, right? So it's you want to have something, and so you're doing the actions, but it's really who you be, who you become along the journey that allows you to remember who you are. It's the shedding of the layers, the shedding of the conditioning, the shedding of all the things that aren't you. And that is the remembrance, and that is the becoming. It's it's not even necessarily working on yourself and adding so much things to you. It's shedding all the things that aren't you. It's releasing and deconditioning all the things that were never yours to begin with. So that's this journey. Okay, that was my journey with my relationship. And honestly, the more that I work on myself, every time I go, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to work on yourself, you need to be a better person, I go, okay, what am I doing? Okay, am I loving myself? Am I pouring into myself? Do I have other sources of joy and peace and happiness that I'm tapping into, other than making this person my God, my idol, my this thing that I have to attain? They have to love me. They have my love. They have my happiness. They have my peace. They have my money. They have my abundance. They have my prosperity. God is the source. So allow yourself to tap back into that source, because that is what will allow you to actually have the things that you want. If you desire marriage, once you tap back in and you get on purpose and on path, all those things will be added onto you anyway. So don't worry, don't trip. Release the anxiety, ground yourself. Husa. Calm yourself, because all those things will be added onto you anyways. And of course, there's always room for growth. I don't feel like I'm exactly where I want to be. I'm at the top of you 2.0. I'm at my level 10. I know exactly where I'm at, where I'm going, and I'm there. Of course, I have places that I still want to grow to and evolve into. There's so many more journeys. There's marriage, there's parenthood, there's the next stages of my businesses. It's there's always growth to be had. But I definitely feel I have the tools, I have the skill set, I have the mindset, I have the ways of reprogramming. I have coaches, I have mentors, I have just people in my life who I can go to for wisdom and for advice, for coaching, and people who will help me see through to the other side, so I can continuously stay on this path and stay calibrated to a high level. And I feel sometimes also we're always looking downward. We're okay, those people need to do work on themselves. Those people, they have these labels, these conditions, they need to do the work. And it's we can look down and back so much that we forget to look up and out. We forget that there's people who are doing better than us, who have wisdom to offer us. And I think that was a big shift when I'm I really want friends who know more than me, who are just as growth oriented. So many times we feel we have to save people, and we don't allow people to go through the same journey that we did, to make mistakes, to become accountable, to see them in their power. They have power as well. We are not the source. God is the source. So I think sometimes we look back so much and we point the finger, and it's there's so much more growth, and there's so many things ahead of you that aren't just in the past. The past is already gone. Keep looking forward, keep being in the present, and keep calibrating to that new highest level. And I promise you, manifesting love, manifesting money, manifesting the body that you want, it will be so easy to attain, to manifest, to bring into your life if you hold those mindsets and those beliefs and those values. All of those things will be added onto you anyways.